It's now possible to build almost any business using AI agents, which are like AI employees. And in this video, I'm going to tell you the step-by-step method to do that. I'm talking about almost any business. Now, am I talking about bricklayers and plumbers? No. Am I talking about online businesses? Yes. And they can even help you if you've got an offline business. So if you're building a software as a service, maybe you got into the vibe coding thing and you're wondering how to market it, great. You can spin up a team of AI agents. I'm going to tell you in this video how to do it, and then have them market your SaaS for you. If you've got a coaching or a course business or a personal brand, you can get AI agents, spin them up, and get them to do a lot of tasks in your business. And that goes for almost any business. You're selling online services, you're selling online anything, you can now spin up a team of AI employees, highly trained, works 24/7, costs very little, very easily. And that's what we're going to cover in this video. So before we move on, I'm going to tell you why you should listen to me. And that's because I've done over $24 million, mostly passive income, over the last 25 years, selling in all kinds of digital marketing, online business models, from info products, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, drop shipping, print on demand, you name it, I've probably done it. Software as a service, I've done all kinds of stuff. And I can tell you right now, in 2026 and beyond, the game has changed. I've been in this game since I became an adult. So I started in about 2000, and where it's got to, it blows my mind every single day. So anyway, enough waffling on. I'm talking about building a team of AI employees that work on your behalf, whatever business model you're doing right now. In fact, I recommend you don't look for new business models. I recommend you look for old business models that you can now essentially move into when you couldn't before because you didn't have enough time, knowledge, skills, money. Now you don't need it because the AI is smarter, faster, cheaper, and better at almost anything than you are, and more importantly than anybody you could hire. So even if you had $1 million budget for a year's worth of hiring a team and all that stuff, the AI, if you spend a few days training it, it's going to beat that team because it doesn't sleep, it doesn't complain, it doesn't take a salary. And you're going to spend maybe $50 to $200 a month with a 10, 20 person AI team, as opposed to, I don't know, $3K a month for one relatively low level employee. So let's get started. How does it work? What are AI agents? So before we go into exactly how to do this, I'm going to tell you what an AI agent is. An AI agent is just another term for like an autonomous AI employee. If you think employee, but like you've got the employee working for you, so you're the boss. If you think of it like that, that's what it is. These AI agents can now click stuff in browsers, they can check your emails, they can download stuff from your emails, they can draft and send emails, they can browse websites, they can click the same software you can click, they can do research on websites, on X, on Reddit, on YouTube, they can watch YouTube videos, transcribe them, even if there's not a transcription available, transcribe them, and then watch maybe 20 videos that in the same time it would take you to watch 5 minutes of one video, and do all kinds of manner of things with that information, like self-training, so they can self-evolve and train themselves on certain aspects of the business and then go to work on your behalf. So that's basically what it is, and that's what I recommend you do. Pick an old school business model that's tried and tested, you know it works because people have been making money in it since the dawn of the internet 25 plus years ago. And now you can come in, do it faster, cheaper, better, easier using AI agents. Legitimately, when I say this, this method is not only going to create millionaires, it's going to create 100 millionaires and probably a billionaire or two. One person founders, one person spinning up teams of AI employees that go to work on their behalf and do these business models at scale 24/7 without needing anything other than a little overview, like just checking in, make sure that they've not gone wild and started Skynet, Skyneting on your ass. So let's get started. How do we do it? Because this channel is going to be all about AI agents for the rest of this year for sure, and probably way beyond that. So how do you do it? Because this is fundamentally important. If you want to make money online, you have to learn this. You can do what I see a lot of people doing, burying their head in the sand and going, AI is not going to take my job. AI is not going to take my business. AI can't do X, Y, and Z. And then increasingly what we're seeing is AI can do this, it can do that, and it can do that. It's just the vast majority of people don't understand it and don't know about it. It's like the early days of crypto or the early days of the internet where people were naysaying it. The truth is AI is coming for everybody's jobs. Unless society pushes back and regulation happens, it's going to take those jobs. So I'm not trying to doom and gloom here. I'm saying, look, get with the program, be ahead of the game, ride the technology as it's starting to ramp up. Don't bury your head in the sand and say it won't affect my job, because it will. And I'm going to get a plumber in there here saying, well, it can't change toilets. Well, wait till the AI's in the robots that Elon Musk's making and other Chinese manufacturers. It will take the plumbing jobs too. So don't be scared of it. Don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Lean into it, embrace it. And that's what this video and this channel is all about. So what do? Step one, right? So there's multiple steps. Step one is you need an agentic harness, right? So this is not just ChatGPT, although we will use ChatGPT for this method. You need an agentic harness. So the agentic harness is just a complicated term. I'm not even sure it's the right term, but it's the term I use. It's a complicated term for something that just it holds your digital brain together and your digital team together. So in this case, there's three main ones that I would consider. One is Claude, not the LLM or the large language model, although Claude's amazing. It's more the suite of tools that come with Claude that would fit this category. And that might be a nice place for beginners to start. So it's Claude Cowork. It's got the Claude Code, Claude for Chrome. It can do stuff. It can control your computer. It can click stuff. It can design stuff. So that might be a nice beginner-friendly place to start for some people. You might already have Claude. And I think just for a $20 a month subscription, you could get into that. And then Claude, your digital brain. The reason why I don't think that's the best, most optimal way to do this is because Claude just runs on Claude. So let's say they put their pricing up, like they're talking about doing with Fable. So the latest large language model that's meant to be amazing and everyone loves it. They're taking it away and put it API only and stuff. And even the US government, like actually at one point, took it down. So if you build your business based on Claude, well, that's cool, but understand that you are picking a team and you can't really deviate from that team. So whatever Anthropic do in the future with the Claude suite of tools, you're kind of tied into it. So that's one way to do it. And you might already have access to Claude. So you can have a little play with Claude Code, Claude Cowork, Claude for Chrome, and you can get a feeling of that agentic experience where it's controlling your browser and it's clicking around and it's actually doing real work, right? So like an evolution from the first ChatGPT we saw where we're just chatting to it. Now it's taken beyond that. It controls stuff. It can access folders on your computer and all that. Now, the next step up from that, I would say, is a little bit more advanced, and I would say it's better for most people doing this, and that is to go the OpenClaw or Hermes agent route. So these are other, if the term's right, don't get me wrong, if I'm not academic enough to get the term right, my apologies, but OpenClaw or Hermes agent, right? So OpenClaw was kind of like the pioneer on the space, and then Hermes agent came along and arguably did it better. What are these things? So these agentic harnesses are what you plug the LLM into. So where I just said Claude can control your computer and stuff, these can do all kinds of stuff, but Claude would be plugged into it, right? Or ChatGPT Codex 5.5 or 5.6 or whatever number it is when you're watching this would be plugged into it. So Claude is powered by Claude. So if you go into that agentic kind of world, you're locked into the Claude, what's the right word? Claude environment, Claude universe. Whereas if you go the OpenClaw Hermes agent route, You're not tied into anybody. See, OpenClaw and Hermes Agent, you can plug Claude into it. You can plug ChatGPT into it. You can plug Chinese models in like DeepSeek, Kimi. You can plug Gemini into it. So you're not tied to one kind of universe of tools, if you like. So Claude, you're all in at that point. You're kind of in their world if you build it on Claude. And I don't think it's quite as flexible in a whole bunch of ways. It's an amazing tool. It's a great starting point. You couldn't go far wrong than to learn Claude if you already got it. And for $20, it's not very complicated to set up. It's just the kind of beginner-friendly, easy way to get into agentic AI. So there's Claude, then there's OpenClaw. The downside of OpenClaw, even though they're a pioneer and they started this kind of thing, at least for mass market, I should say it's free, by the way. OpenClaw and Hermes Agent are free. OpenClaw started it, amazing what they did, but it has some inherent problems. OpenClaw has this issue whereby sometimes when you go to update it, it breaks, right? And so you have a period of time on a regular basis where you're having to manage it, right? And if you're not very techie and you don't like fiddling with settings and stuff, I think it could get quite annoying. I know it was for me. I run them both. I run all three. So I've got Claude and I use it every day. The suite, the agentic suite. I've got OpenClaw. I don't use that every day. And I've got Hermes Agent, which is my agent of choice. This is an evolution almost of OpenClaw. Not quite as feature packed, but way more robust, way better put together. It doesn't break. Touch wood, this is a glass desk, otherwise I'd touch that. Touch wood, it's not broken on me yet. So Hermes Agent is the one that I would go for. It can be a little bit complicated to set up, right? And I've got a hack for that, but I'll go into that maybe another time. It can be a little bit complicated to set up, but once you've set it up, it's worth it because it's just gonna, like a Rolex, it's just gonna keep going, right? As opposed to OpenClaw, which can just be a little bit at times. It's like they're rushing features out and it kind of breaks and it's just not quite there. It's 80% of what you want it to be. Whereas Hermes Agent is as close to 100% as you're gonna get in the current market. So there's pick your tool of choice, right? In my case, Hermes Agent. If you hit problems, if you're struggling to set it up, which you might, or there's some clunky quirks you're not a fan of, then maybe try Claude or OpenClaw. Next, you need a gateway, right? So on Claude, you've got the Dispatch app that does this for you. So Dispatch is a way you can talk to Claude and the Claude suite on your phone. Hermes Agent and OpenClaw, you usually use what's called a gateway with them. So I like Telegram. So Telegram, you set up a Telegram bot and your Telegram bot talks to Hermes Agent or it talks to OpenClaw, right? And the beauty of it is you can put your bot on Telegram into your own Telegram group and where it's just you and your bot in the Telegram group. And then you can create topics that do the different tasks in a business within the Telegram group, and you can talk to your bot through those different topics. And you can keep the context of that topic, the context of what you're talking about in that particular topic. So if you're doing YouTube stuff, you can have it in a YouTube topic. And if you're doing print on demand stuff, you could have it in a print on demand thing. Now you might break it down more. You might have 5 different bots for YouTube, or 5 different instances or topics, if you like, in Telegram. But I don't want to bog you down with too much detail. Basically, Telegram is a way that on your phone, you can voice note your bot, or you can type to your bot, and you can essentially use your AI and set up your AI agents on the go from your phone using Telegram. Now, Telegram also has a desktop app, so you can just have it mirrored on the desktop. So if you're on your laptop or a desktop computer, you can type to your bot through Telegram there, and it's all carried over onto your phone. So if you're in the gym, if you're, I don't want to say driving, but if you're out and about, you can voice note your bot and have it do stuff, right? And the true power is not about just voice note in the bot. The true power is in setting up cron jobs, which are automated kind of loops, if you like, that just do stuff. So creating loops of work that it just keeps doing. When this happens, do this. At this time, do this, right? And that sounds complicated. You don't need to be able to code or anything like that. You just talk. If you can type, you can talk natural English or Chinese, then or whatever language, then it can work, right? So you've got your Telegram set up. Now this could be Slack, this could be WhatsApp, this could be iMessage. There's different ways to talk to your bots. If it's Claude, you're just using Dispatch. If it's OpenClaw or Hermes Agent, you can use one of these others. Like I say, my preference right now, and it might change, is Telegram. I've got a really nice workflow in there. I enjoy working with it, and it hands down beats WhatsApp and a lot of the other things. Some people might get on better with Slack if you've already got it integrated into a current business or something, but for most people, Telegram's the option. So you've chose your weapon of choice. Recommendations, if you go in my recommends, it's Hermes Agent with Telegram, right? So you've got your gateway and you've got your agentic harness. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to decide what LLMs or models you're going to plug into this agentic harness to run it, to give it a digital brain. Because out of the box, it's cool, but it doesn't work, right? It has to have an AI LLM, which is a large language model, plugged into it. So the one that I run all day, every day with my Hermes agent is Codex 5.5. By the time you watch this, it'll probably be a different one because they're just changing all the time. And there's some new models just aren't ready to come out. It might even be out for some people, like some select companies in the US. But this LLM, this large language model, if you go for Codex, that's just ChatGPT. So if you have a paid subscription of ChatGPT, like a $20 a month ChatGPT subscription, you can plug that into your agentic harness, right? And that can be the digital brain. You don't need anything else. So you're already paying you $20 a month. Cool, use that. Because honestly, for me, that's the best all-rounder. You get really good usage limits. It can do a lot for the money. Admittedly, if you're a heavy user, like myself, you're going to be jumping up to $100 a month or $200 a month plan. But you get great value for money on any of the plans, right? So Codex 5.5, even though it's not the best model out there, arguably Opus 4.8 is better and Fable's better, which are Claude LLMs. You can't plug Claude into Hermes Agent or OpenClaw on a paid subscription. It's not allowed. It was allowed, and Anthropic didn't like that everyone was burning tokens and using some other platform, and they knew they were going to create this Claude suite. So if you're using the Claude suite, you can use the subscription, like the monthly subscription, which saves you money if you're a heavy Claude user. If you're using one of these, you're probably better off on Codex because they don't mind you using the subscription. So ChatGPT, $20 a month or $100 a month, whatever, Brain is what you plug into Hermes Agent, and that becomes the thinking part of your agent. It gives it the ability to do everything and actually intelligently take actions. Not just a chatbot, we're talking clicking stuff, sending stuff, downloading stuff, signing up for stuff. If you can do it in a browser, there's almost certainly a way you can do it using one of these agentic harnesses with Codex plugged in. Even designs and stuff, you want to create a thumbnail for a YouTube video, Codex will do that out of the box. So you can create really nice thumbnails with a very simple prompt and either have a workflow set up or just voice note your Telegram thing. Say, I've just added a video to the Google Drive, go check it out and create a thumbnail for it and the title and the description say. So you can create workflows to do stuff, right? And that's basically how it works. You plug the digital brain in and then you also plug other services in. So a Google Drive, I just mentioned it, Google Drive, plug your Google Drive in. Now it's got a huge amount of storage whereby it can upload and download. So you want to drop some video files into your Google Drive and then have your agentic harness see those video files and act on them, you can do that. For example, you could have a workflow set up whereby once you've done a video like this, you add it to that Google Drive, your bot sees it, or your AI employee sees it, and knows it's going to do these 5 actions on it. 1 is create a thumbnail for it. 2 is transcribe it and create subtitles maybe, and a title and description and tags, keyword tags. And then another one might be edit it. Yes, I'm actually training my AI employees to edit my videos. And even though it might be rough around the edges, if you've watched my videos for the last few years, you'll know that I never edit any of them. Other than vlogs in the past that I edit myself, I've never paid an editor. If I have to mess around editing stuff, I don't want to do it. I just want to talk to the camera. But my AI, if this is edited, it's because my AI did it. So it might be a bit rough, but it's a training issue and a me issue, not it. So it could edit it and then it could upload it. So that, if you're a YouTuber, for example, it's now, it could do your keyword, it could do your video research, find outliers that other people have made, and then suggest videos you should make, create your titles, create your descriptions, create your thumbnails, edit your video, upload your video and schedule it. It can do everything, right? And it does this because you're hooking in different services to your agentic harness. So the more stuff you give it to be able to access, the more powerful it is. Having said that, there is a downside in that there is a risk involved with that. If you're giving it access to your personal email account and it went rogue, or somebody did something that's called a prompt injection attack or something like that, there could be some negative downsides to it. But he who dares wins, YOLO style, is like a magical experience. You give it access to your emails, give it access to your Apple IDs and stuff, give it access to Google Drives, your Google Calendar, your Apple Calendar, give it access to your YouTube account, give it access to your Stripe API, anything and everything. When you're building a business, there's usually a way to hook it in, and the more stuff you hook in, the more powerful it is, the more this agentic harness will do for you, and the more it'll feel like an actual real life team of employees, but AI ones that you don't have to pay, don't have to give time off and all that stuff. So that's the next step really. You're hooking a load of services, right? I have skipped a few steps. You do need to make sure that you update the virtual private server. That's what I skipped. You need to host it somewhere. I like hosting it on a virtual private server. Some people might host it on an old computer or whatever, but a virtual private server is on 24/7 and it costs about $9 a month. So you've got an always on computer sat on the internet that you can talk to via your phone, via Telegram or type to, and it does stuff and it's got access to your world. What you'll also do, beyond the security and updates and all that stuff, which you do need to harden that thing, because there is a risk to doing this. Albeit if you know what you're doing, you can minimize that risk. You have to be aware there is a risk. So you've got your agentic harness set up, you've got your digital brain plugged in, it's hooked up to all different services, it's hardened, and it's got security updates on it and all that stuff. The next thing really is building with it. And that is, the best way is to break a business model down into say 5, 7, 10 parts, right? So if I was doing a print on demand business, then which is printing logo or designing logos, and then you upload them to a site, people buy the designs that you've uploaded and then they get them printed on a hoodie or a mug, and then they get dispatched by the print on demand company and you get a commission for selling that design. So if you was to break that business model down, just overview, there'll be more to it than this, but just as an overview, you might say, have a research agent that's going to research successful designs on other platforms. So other print on demand platforms, maybe on Etsy, maybe on Amazon, maybe on Pinterest, but find cool designs to give you inspiration that are popular, right? So that might be one agent that does that. Another agent might be an agent that is able to create designs from that inspiration. So I'm not saying copy, you don't want to do copyright infringement, it's illegal. But you might go, oh, that's a cool idea. So this agent's brought you a load of ideas, so that's your research agent. And then this agent might go, let's these are variations of that idea that might also be successful. So let's say it's something in the fishing niche, right? Fishing's a popular thing, cool little gift for dad because he's a fisherman. And like your bot goes find these fisherman niche and actually these fisherman ideas are really cool. And your bot goes, yeah, let's create these different kind of fishing variations. So not copying, but giving inspiration. And then maybe that you have a design bot that actually designs new designs, and maybe they're really pretty, maybe they're really good, right? Your agentic harness can do all this through Telegram. So you've got a few bots trained on different things. Then another one might create a listing. So you'll train it on listing creation on these different print-on-demand platforms. And then another one might be quality control. And then another one might be uploading or something like that. So you might break that down into 5, 6, 7 steps. And then you want to, on a granular level, train these agents on those steps. Now, the research agent might be best off trained itself unless you already know the business model. If you know the business model, if you've been doing it for years, this is even easier because you can just talk to it, just ramble. I recommend doing a really long voice note and just telling it everything you know, and then saying, what do you understand from this? And then it tells you back, and then you go, yeah, this is right, this is right, this is right, that's wrong. And it will learn. And the beauty of these agentic harnesses is they learn. So the more you use them, especially Hermes Agent, the better they get. So the idea is you only have to tell it once, that's not quite right. And then hopefully next time it does it right. So you train each individual agent, but oftentimes the training will start with you just saying, look, go research this thing, go learn about this thing, go do your own training, right? And it will go out there on the internet and scour everything it can find as long as you've got these services hooked up. So it needs to be able to crawl X to find what people are talking about print on demand on X, right? If it can't crawl X, then you're not going to have that capability. So this is why you need to make sure you hook in everything nice and early. And then it can go learn, it can go read Reddit, it can go watch YouTube videos, and it can come back to you with a report and say, I think this is the best strategy, blah, 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 this is how it works. And you can go, yes, this is great, or no, this is bad. So one other thing that I would also do whilst you're in this setup process of building a business using agentic AI is I would give it context. So what is context? Context is information about you or your current businesses that will be relevant to it. So I dumped in a load of stuff in there. So stupid stuff like what my company name is, what my email address is that I use, any team members that it might need to know about or communicate with, things like that. You're going to give it context of you, context of your business. And that doesn't have to be you writing loads of stuff. You can just say, look, go through the last year's emails, consume them, and then do me a report on what you think my business is, for example. And it'll go do it really quick. And then it comes back to you and tells you X, Y, Z. And you go, yeah, this is right. No, that team member's left, blah, blah, blah. That's not my current accountant. That was my old accountant. I've got a new one. And then you just give it the context. The more context you give it and the more access you give it, the better the experience will be. And then it's just about deciding on a business model, giving the granular level training to the agents, which sounds complicated, but you're just saying, no, don't do it like this, do it like that. No, that's a mistake, it's better like this. And most of the time, it will just get it straight away. Sometimes it's frustrating, it takes maybe a few hours, maybe a couple of days. But once it's done, and once it's learned, then that's it. You can say, right, now create me 10 print-on-demand designs in the fisherman's niche and upload them every single day, right? And that's it. And then you just make sure that the process is happening. So you just look at it and go, is it happening how I want? Is it designing designs that are actually good? Is it writing titles and descriptions for those designs that are good and optimized for the platform? Is it actually uploading them successfully and getting the dimensions right and all that stuff? So you just make sure that you have a little look, and if it's doing it right, just check in now and again. You can even get it to check itself and then give you a report once a day, once a week, whatever. And any red flags, you have a look and you figure out what's going on and you fix it. So that is the overview of using agentic AI in 2026 to run a business online and automate that bad boy. Now, there's a lot more to it than that, but this is a 30-minute video already, and obviously I don't want to overwhelm you. I wanted to give you a high-level overview of the process and give you some nitty-gritty details that are quite important. But in the next video, we'll break this down further, but you need to make sure that you let me know in the comments what you need to know about. If you have any questions or anything you think would make a good video, then make sure you comment down below and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more. Right, that's it. That's me done. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your time and attention. Hopefully you got something from this video, and see you next time. Bye-bye.